Hello, my beautiful souls, and welcome to the Oracle of Light channel. My name is SP Psychic Medium. Lovely to see you all today. Lovely for you joining us. So on today's show, Trump is offending more people yet again. So let me go into this a little bit more. You may have seen this AI-generated photograph of Felon 45 or Trump, however you like to call him, deciding to dress up or generate an AI image, actually, more specifically, as the Pope. Let me just go into this a little bit more. But before I do, don't forget, I need to say that this is for entertainment purposes only, as you will know, those that join me on this show. Let's just unwrap this a little bit more. My source, by the way, for this is The Independent, and I'll be posting a link to this article down below. So let's just go through everything. First of all, clown Donald Trump slammed for AI-generated Pope post. So it's like, just when you think things can't get any crazier, this comes along. Donald Trump has been called a clown for posting an image of himself as the Pope. The AI-generated picture has caused huge anger ahead of the week's gathering of the cardinals at the Vatican to choose a new leader for the 1.4 billion strong Catholic Church. So there's a lot of people he's upset, I think, about this. It comes, of course, remember that this just comes after days after the Trump made a joke he would like to be like the Pope, and then this AI picture pops up. And not only that, pops up on the White House feed and everything, which is just completely crazy why these things are actually appearing there. Trump, who is not Catholic, remember, and does not attend church, remember, posted the image on his Truth social platform late on Friday, which was only less than a week, can you believe it, after attending the funeral of Pope Francis, who died at 88 on Easter Sunday. And to me, the amount of disrespect shown is just off the scale, you know. The White House then reposted it as if it wasn't bad enough on the official X account, which to me just shows even more disrespect. This image, by the way, if you haven't seen it, it is actually on the thumbnail of this video, but also he's sat on an ornate seat in a chair dressed with the white papal vestments and a headdress, and his right forefinger raised towards heaven. Yeah, so if you want to go see that, it is on the thumbnail of this video. This irreverent post, because it's an AI image, of fantasy of his, if you like, drew instant outrage, including from the Republicans against Trump, a group that describes itself as pro-democracy, conservative Republicans fighting Trump and Trumpism. The group also reposted it on X, calling it a blatant insult to Catholics and mockery of their faith, which it's like him putting a fancy dress costume on, but less than a week than the Pope's funeral. It's like, it just blows your mind. The Vatican spokesperson Matteo Bruni declined to comment on the image during a briefing with journalists about the process of electing a new Pope, which begins on May the 7th. And the former Italian Prime Minister Matteo Renzi also wrote on X that this is an image that offends believers, insults institutions, and shows that the leader of the global right enjoys being a clown. In the meantime, the American economy risks recession and the dollar loses value. I think it says it right there. So you can see that this has really, really offended many, many people. Also, close to home, the Catholic bishops of New York State also voiced their displeasure too, saying that there was nothing clever about this image. They said there is nothing clever or funny about this image, Mr. President. And recognizing the fact that we've just buried our beloved Pope Francis and the cardinals are about to enter a solemn conclave to elect a new successor of St. Peter, do not mock us. And I think it's worth remembering that this time for the Catholic Church is a very sacred and holy time, the election of a new Pope. It's not a little thing, it's a huge thing. Of course, getting over the death of the previous Pope, as well as all of the what has to be done correctly, demands a huge amount of respect and should not be mocked in any way, which is what this AI picture essentially is, a big mocking of it, you know. So you can read more about this on the article. I will put a link to more about this so you can read more about it on the article. But I thought I would I would get all of find some shine. I would shine a light, okay, and get some insight on this in terms of a specific point of this. And the question we're going to look at today is, how have people taken Trump posting the AI picture of himself dressed as the Pope? Of course, I've just read you out some feelings about that already, but what has it done in terms of his flavor to people, if you like? How has his flavor changed? Has it changed or not? Or is it just going to keep going? Now, I'm going to be using rocks for this reading, and I'm going to be using oracle cards, and then I'm going to finish with the tarot cards. Often I start with the tarot cards, but I'm going to mix things up because I do read rocks, and we're going to start with some rocks for this. So, because it's yes, I just feel it's a rock reading, this one. So, how have the people taken from posting the AI picture? Of course, all readings are for entertainment purposes only, as you know. So let's have a look. I'm just getting a rock. Okay, this one. Okay, so how have people taken this? So I feel that, first of all, this feels like, I'm really aware of that. Like, I mean, quite a big steep edge, this rock. Can you see that? It feels like it's quite a like hitting a brick wall. I want to do with this rock. So it feels like this has really turned people's backs up, you know, because I'm just really aware of the edge of that rock being like, it feels like a brick wall, you know. So I definitely see it feels like he's put a lot of people's backs up. It feels like as well, you'll notice the rock is quite a nice, actually, a palish color, you know. It's quite a pale color. And that is, to me, is recognizing that it's put a lot of good people's backs up, you know. The pale color in the rock is representative of a lot of good people, actually, that are well-meaning, that haven't done anything to anyone in that sense, and do not deserve being what's the word I'm trying to think of? Do not deserve to be insulted by someone, you know. Like I feel what this AI picture has done. It's insulted a lot of people, you know. Also, I feel as well, I'm aware of the squareness of this rock as well. And I feel the squareness is to do with the rules and protocol people have to follow. And this is just blowing everything out the water. Like, they could have never predicted something like this would have happened so close to the death of the previous pope, and so close to the choosing of that new pope, you know. And people have to follow these strict laws of the Catholic religion and everything, particularly when they're bringing in choosing the next pope, you know. It's something that has to be done correctly. And when you have people posting AI images over the internet, especially under the White House, you can imagine how damaging that can be for people saying, oh, this should be America, they should make it an American pope. And also, it's like, no, they need to follow what they're following, as they have done for these many years in that sense, you know. So yeah, people haven't taken this very easy, and I feel it has ruffled a lot of feathers. I think there are a lot of very unhappy people about, and this is just not just within the church, this is out of the church too, I feel, I'm aware of. It feels like I definitely need to say there's a lot of people who is offended, that they're just so surprised, and they're just like really offended people here, you know. I want to get another rock out as well. Okay, so this is an interesting one. So I feel this represents a map of the world, actually, and I'm really aware of people around the world. Those blue spots there, almost like suggesting people that have been really hurt and by it. You know, I think it's hurt people across the world. This has, you know, because I think the Pope actually had a great meaning to people around the world. Actually, I think this is what to do with this is, you know. And it's interesting that it's a square, because the square references the picture, the AI picture that Trump posted up, and it's that picture that's hurt these people around the world. Do you see that? You know. Also, I need to say the sea. There's a reference to the sea, the pale blue there. Can you see that? It almost is like the sea, which connects everybody. And so yeah, there's a lot of people being offended by this right around the world. I think this is going to have, I think it's going to, with this, it's going to have like greater consequences than we might realize. This picture, I think it's going to have far-reaching consequences, and I'm not entirely sure what they are at the moment. Of course, we know there's been a lot of insult made by this and a lot of disrespect by this, but it may result in maybe no longer an invitation somewhere or something like this, no longer an invitation to meet a particular bishop or go to a particular thing or something like this. It might result in something like this, you know, that offense that has been caused, you know. So yeah, they're the two rocks initially, and these are just regular rocks, people, by the way. They're not special spiritual rocks. They were chosen for the purpose of giving readings, but that's it. Aside from that, they're simply just rocks. So I'm going to get one of these Oracle of the Light cards now. These, of course, were created by me and Francesca. How are people taken Trump posting the AI picture of himself? Let's see what the cards say. Shine a little bit of light, give us some insight. So here we go. Let's have a look here. Let's just giving them a good shuffle. Okay, then let's get the cards in. Gonna get a couple of cards, I think. So there, by the way. Okay, Archangel Michael upside down, and the four elements upside down. Interesting. I read the cards both the right way up and upside down. Particularly, I find it helps particularly for these readings when I'm looking at things around the world. So Archangel Michael upside down. So this Archangel Michael is a great protector angel. He represents a great protector for people. He represents strength and everything like that. And I feel the fact that it's upside down, I feel that this is to do with he's upset a real big power here. The Catholic Church is a big power. They hold a lot of wealth. They hold a lot of religious power around the world, you know. And I think this is related to that. They've upset them. This card is upside down. They've upset the angels. The angels in heaven are not very pleased right now with Felon 45, with Trump, you know. They're really not pleased with him. They're not satisfied with how he's been going. I need to say it's connected to the destroyer as well. And Felon 45 is really destroying things, you know. He's really destroying things. And this is very much like, I feel this card represents too. The four elements coming out upside down though. So I think what this represents too is that it's really hurt people really deep. That's what I feel. This is almost like an elemental card. And when you're very elemental, you're very at your core, at your roots, everything's stripped back to its bare bones, you know. And I feel this is how he's upset people, you know. He's upset people very, very, very deeply here at their core, not just superficially, not just, well, it's not great, but, you know, like, how dare he? Like, how dare he do this, you know? And I think the reason why it's so much how dare he is because you look at the timeline here. It's like less than a week since the funeral, and he's posted this picture of himself. You know, he cannot resist it. He's this true narcissistic criminal. Yeah, it's just crazy, you know. So close to that funeral and so close to the selection of the new pope. It's just, the timeline is just horrendous, you know. It's awful, you know. And I think this is the elemental aspect. It's really upset people at their core. This is not just superficial upset here. This is like big stuff, you know. And it's just so disrespectful for people's religions. Now, I am a psychic medium, but I never ever tell people what to believe in. And so I have complete respect for people that follow their religions, and everyone should have the respect for everyone else on their own spiritual path. You shouldn't be patronizing them and showing a picture of yourself dressed as it's just ridiculous. It's just childlike, insulting. There aren't really enough words to really sum that up, and I think that, yeah, this is really what this card is about. It's gone really, really deep. Now, what will the tarot cards say as well on this? These are the cosmic tarot cards that I use. We'll do a summary at the end, by the way, of everyone, by the way, of the rocks and of the oracle cards and tarot cards. By the way, if you're interested about rock reading or you have any questions about the reading, do comment below and ask us your questions, or give us your thoughts on this reading so far. Do comment below, everybody. So let's have a look at the oracle cards. Not oracle cards, tarot cards. Just giving them a bit of a shuffle. So, okay then. So, what do the tarot cards say about this? How are the people taking Trump posting the air picture of himself? We got one jumping out there. The Hierophant upside down. So Hierophant upside down is interesting. This is to do with he's almost dressed as a priest, interestingly. The Pope even, sorry, my mistake. You can tell I'm not a Catholic. But yeah, almost dressed as a Pope. Isn't that amazing that we're doing a picture about Felon 45 being dressed as a Pope, and this card comes out? And I think that this is upside down because this represents the church, the Catholic religion that he's offended. He's offended a great many number of people. I said at the beginning of that article, however many billion people I think it was. I will put a link to that article so you can have a read. But this, I feel, represents how upset people are, and I think that we have to remember that Trump's, the things he does do get broadcast all around the world and seen by a lot of people. So this disrespectful picture has been probably seen by a lot of people, far too many people that should have seen it, and I think that that's what that's what to do with the light from his eye coming out there, is how this disrespectful people has been shown to a lot of people, and I think that upsets them as well. By his words seem to reach so many people, and these words are damaging, and disrespectful and awful, So let's get another card out. As I say, that card literally jumped out. It wanted to come out, that card. I always give the cards I don't always. Sometimes I don't feel I need to give it, but in that point, it's like, this is jumping out for a reason, and I need to give the card, So the next one is the Queen of Pentacles. So I feel that this feels like this is one of Felon 45's entourage going, odd, you should be the Pope, almost, this just feels like this is someone almost like standing. The reason why I'm saying it's connected to Felon 45 is the pentacles close to her chest. Pentacles represents money, represents wealth, and I think that materialistic things, and I feel that this is one of his cronies, someone in his cabinet, or someone who just panders to him, and actually praising him on it. Actually, I think this is someone praising him on it, the craziest thing to be doing, but this is what these MAGAs and it's like a cult, it's like our leader cannot do any wrong, people should think. We need to think, be critical, but the more people are critical and think in today's society, the better. That's why I always never tell people, I said this earlier, I never tell people what to believe, but I encourage people to take what I say and contemplate it and make their own decision. But that requires thought and thinking, and that's something that is being eroded, and we need to that is education and contemplation and learning is something that should be valued. And this is just someone that I feel is almost like hypnotized by the cult. No matter what he does, they cannot see the disrespectful side of it. They probably want him as the next Pope, you know, whoever this is. Now, I don't know who whether this person has spoken out yet or not, but look out, this may happen. Someone may speak out in his defense of this disrespectful picture. I think that this is not over with this picture, because obviously the Catholic Church are going through their process. And so we might find that this picture again raises its head later on, okay? But yeah, quite an interesting reading. I'm going to summarize up for you then, everybody, with what we got. So the first one, we got this rock here to begin with. Brick wall, like a brick wall, has come up, offended a lot of people. They built a wall up. Can't stand it, offended so many people. How dare you say that? Let's put up a wall up to you. And also the color of this rock, the pale color of the rock, represents a good people's heart, good people with a good meaning. And also the squareness of this rock represents people that do have to follow their rules, particularly the Catholic Church at the moment. They do have to follow their official route of doing that. It's a complex thing, you know. This also represents the world. It was this way around the rock, it was. And how the marks around the rock are people that have been offended around the world, referencing the picture to the square shape too of the AI picture. The next, Archangel Michael. This picture is a destroyer of, as if there wasn't a lot of respect there for him. Anyway, there's even less respect for Felon 45 now. And he's a true destroyer. Everywhere he goes, he destroys it. And that's what he's very much is trying to probably destroy the church with this as well. And the 4 elements is this is upset people at their cause. It's gone really, really deep. The hurt, almost elemental, stripped back bare. Really, really not nice, you know. The Hierophant, can you believe we actually get this card out in this reading? It's truly amazing, the tarot cards, how we get a card with a Pope in it. Out of all of the cards, 78 cards in the tarot, and this one comes out upside down. But this to me represents how upset the Catholic Church is, you know. How dare he? How dare he? There's like really, really. And then this is recognizing, because tarot always gives you what you want, not always gives you what you need, not necessarily what you want. And this says there are still going to be people, sycophants, that are still going to instantly. Sycophant is similar word to Hierophant as well, interestingly. Sycophants that are, no matter what he does, they will always look at him starry-eyed. You are our God and leader, and you know, and so ironically, against all of these odds, there's still going to be someone praising him. And I think this is just watch out, people. People are almost in that cult of like, you know, but not everybody is. And I think it's important to remember from this reading, there's a lot of people being offended. There's a lot of people almost like woken up, you know, because obviously with him producing his Bible, maybe they thought he was more religious than he actually is. And it's almost come out even more about where his true intentions really, really lie. So listen, everybody, I'm afraid we reached the end, but if you did enjoy the video, do give a thumbs up and do subscribe below if you do enjoy the channel. Listen, that brings us to the end of the video, but I really hope you enjoyed it. With lots of love and light from the Oracle of the Light, I will see you really soon. Take care, everybody. Goodbye.